Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Syahidah Binti Sahrani. So today, my group members and I would like to present about various thinking styles exemplified in sirah Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Critical thinking skills allow you to have an effective communication. Before you communicate with someone, you need to structure the sentences in order to have an effective communication with them or with someone that you like. So, in fact, communication is considered as the skeletal structure of critical thinking, where a person thinks from the inner core, puts them into structures, sentences. Communication not only involves drawing out words, but listening is also considered part of communication. An effective communication can solve a lot of problems. Prophet Mohammad, peace be upon him, is the best role model of thinker. What can we learn from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the communication strategies? So, the first strategy is in order to obtain an effective communication strategy, we have to follow the example of Prophet Mohammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam shows. Firstly, Prophet Mohammad, peace be upon him, took into account the characteristic of one society. Prophet Mohammed was someone who understood the importance of communicating with people. He did not converse only with Muslim, but rather he saw all people irrespective of religion, language, race, sex, social status, and others. Thus, he established a good communication with them. Prophet Muhammad was able to understand the social psychology as well as the individual characteristic in different society. For example, he acted according to the condition of the region or some places. If he want to give an analogy about something, he will give the familiar analogy to them. For example, if he want to give analogy about the animal, he would use the camel or some plants. For example, dates among the Arab or among the Sahabah. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, demonstrated patience and tolerance to negative reaction. During his da'wah in Mecca, Rasulullah has experiences much oppression on the da'wah in Taif. As a revenge, the Angles offers him to destroy that place. But Rasulullah declined the offer instead of pray for them to get guidance from Allah. And number 3, never interrupt the speech of others. This is an art that one needs to acquire to become a good listener. When the speech is interrupted, the speaker feels that his words do not have any worth for the listener, and his can put him off. The Prophet, peace be upon him, would listen with patience, giving the speaker enough time to fully express about themselves without interrupting their speech. Once the speaker would complete his statement, the Prophet, peace be upon him, would ask if he had said what he wished to say and then respond. And last but not least, talk less but very wisely. We need to use and concise words in communication with other people. In one hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "I have been given words which are concise but comprehensive in meaning." We need to avoid the complex language and sophisticated terminologies. Before you talk, it is important to get to know who is your audience, what is your goal, and how you want to achieve. So, use wisely words before you want to talk with someone. So I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Natasha binti Mohammad Isa. So now I will proceed to the next part, which is positive thinking and positive action in Islam from the sirah of Prophet Muhammad. Firstly, positive thinking and action is a core principle of the traditions of Prophet Muhammad. So, in the aim of positive thought and action is to reduce hatred and animosity and increase the love and compassion between people, and then utilize to affect their hearts and minds. This was part of their mission. So, in my presentation today, I will point out Prophet Muhammad's positive thought and action in his relationship with two key people in Islamic history, which is Khalid bin Al-Walid and Abu Mahzurah. Firstly, Khalid bin al-Walid. How Prophet Muhammad transformed Khalid from killer of Muslims to military leader of Muslims by his positive action and thinking. Before accepting Islam, Khalid was one of the strongest opponents and enemies of Prophet Muhammad and Muslims. For 17 years, he persecuted or supported the persecution of Muslims. He took part in all the anti-Muslim campaigns, including 2 major battles. At the Battle of Uhud, he was responsible for the death of more than 70 Muslims, including Prophet Muhammad's uncle, Hamza. So although Prophet Muhammad lost his beloved uncle, he never spoke ill of Khalid. And after 17 years of harming the Muslim, Khalid went with little fear to Muhammad and announced his desire to join the Muslims. In the tribalistic society of Arabia, Khalid could have been killed if he approached the group of people he fought against. However, the Muslims had transformed their society from one governed by tribalism to highly civilized. For example, first as Khalid and his friend arrived in Medina, Muslims had every opportunity to seek revenge for the loss of their loved ones and for being expelled, but they did not even utter any harsh words or warnings towards them. Next, when Muhammad heard Khalid was coming, he was even pleased and smiling as Khalid approached him, and he also arranged for Khalid to stay at an abode next to his own. He also appointed Khalid as commander of an army within 2 months. So great was Muhammad's acceptance of Khalid. Such is the inimitable skill of positive thinking and action exemplified by Prophet Muhammad. Secondly, Abu Mahzura. After the conquest of Mecca, the Muslims marched towards Hunain. Abu Mahzura, who was not a Muslim, took part in the expedition with his friends. At the time, the Prophet was the person that Abu Mahzura hated the most, but he took part in the expedition to gain spoils and benefits. After they heard the Prophet is muazzin reciting the azan, Abu Mahzura and his friends moved the azan loud enough for the Prophet to hear. The Prophet summoned these young people, including Abu Mahzura, and asked them to recite the azan. The Prophet learned that Abu Mahzura recited the best and praised his voice. So the Prophet sent the other young men away without any punishment or even scolding and taught Abu Mahzura how to make the azan. For Abu Mahzura, fulfilling this request was very helpful for him, but he fulfilled the request for the sake of his personal benefit. After reciting the azan, Abu Mahzura was surprised by receiving a small pouch of silver coins and a pat on the head and back from the Prophet. So the Prophet prayed and blessed him, upon which Abu Mahzura asked to be made a muazzin in Mecca. All this warmed Abu Mahzura's heart and melted the hatred within and became Muslim. The Prophet's reaction was unimaginable. He not only withheld immediate reaction to scold Abu Mahzura, but offered the young man who was insulting a symbol of Islam some wealth and the noble positions of official muazzin. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Prophet Muhammad as an inspiring leader created an actual model that the world could extract from. He showed humanity the final prophet that we humans need to define our role in giving and creating a change during our lifetime journey. As when we get engaged in social and economic challenges, the way Prophet Muhammad triggered a new school of thinking helped to socially engineer the society with sustainable models that are run by effective education, development, persuasion, and continuous method of communication. All of this needs to be seen yet in our life in different ways and should integrate with our fabric of life. Reviving the true inspiration of Prophet Muhammad in the Muslim individual will make us appreciate our roles in addressing intergenerational gaps that are increasing between generations. Like surviving through wars, conflicts, and spread of disease is not easy. However, when we appreciate someone we love like Prophet Muhammad, this would give us strive more and more towards making a differentiation regardless of the external environment. Prophet Muhammad came in humanity in a culture somewhat similar to our culture today, where the materialistic thinking and scarcity-driven mindset dominated all the society. Solutions were seen only through the availability of identified known materialistic resources with no innovation or creativity whatsoever for models that are less dependent on materialistic
on materialistic life. Despite what we are referring to more than 14 and a half decades ago, we still rarely experience a capacity in the world to adapt the abundance-driven mindset that is led by empathetic thinking. Therefore, reviving the expression of Prophet Muhammad is particularly important to humanity, not only for Muslims, since it will help experience more successful model that practice abundant thinking to bring solutions to complex problems in this world. The more the world, Muslim and non-Muslim, appreciates Prophet Muhammad as a depth of message, the more we can see the effective exploration of the existing and the hidden opportunities, which this exploration could bring a transformation to Muslim role and depth of contribution to the world, since they would carry a new truth-driven mindset as shown in this figure. Inspiration of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, helped to raise the capacity within any person versus any type of demand through emphasizing on determining the role of life and work focused on the way to create a legacy through a defined way of giving. And as we can see in this figure, those who followed the Prophet and Islam in his life until today improved their contributions specialization based on dealing with specific social and economic challenges. Studies are Al-Khalil Al-Nahawi, who is highly respected to both his collective knowledge and pragmatic application of Islam in today and future life. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was able to bear the pain of dealing with problems, which is not only complicated but also harmful for the sake of a better world. So he elevated our human value by creating a new mindset for his new followers. So the followers of the Messenger Muhammad SAW must break his insight in various stages of life's journey, and they have realized the challenges are sources for opportunities to explore how humans contribute to raising human dignity, which is beyond helping people.
As in the Holy Quran, there are various thinking styles that has been emphasized in the different terminologies, which are tafakkur, tadabbur, tafakkur, tadakkur, ta'akul, idrak, and so many more. Okay, thinking style not only applies to individual but also to a society and a whole lot of others in many other fields of human activities. For example, as for individual, the thinking style in the Quran, if we apply it in our life, it will help the one to solve their problems in daily life. And also for the society, it can lead to new intervention or new contribution or new program for the society. And for the economic field, it maybe can produce new product and also can open new job markets for the people. And as the most important thing is the thinking style can help the mankind to the better understanding about the Creator, about Allah, as well as it can help mankind to solve their problem that faced by man or by society or by religion and also for the Ummah. Okay, here I list 11 thinking style in the Quran which are inquisitive. Inquisitive means by contemplating to the question raised in the Quran, it can provoke a man or a reader to think about the uniqueness or the realization of Allah, which His power and etc. And the second one is argumentation thinking style. Argumentation thinking style is where the mankind or the human must give a proof or evidence on what they are claiming, either it's true or not. Okay, for the rational thinking is where the believing about oneness of God, which is Allah, can be rationalized through understanding the nature instead of believing in Allah, believing in Him blindly. So here are another 6 thinking style that I'm not be able to explain this because I am running out of time. So for the further understanding about the 11 thinking style in the Quran, you may refer to the references provided in the last slide. So as the conclusion, the guidance from the Quran and the Sunnah is very important because the new contribution or new intervention for the Ummah, for the society or for the individual may misguide the people or may misguide the whole Ummah if there is no divine norms and religious value. So That's all from me. Thank you.